Catalogs are made up of lists of industry standard parts that are available to purchase. There are thousands of parts in each catalog, so we have tools to filter the content to find the specific component. Filtering is straightforward using the tools found in the catalog browser panel. They're very similar to the filters found when filtering in Spec Editor, but with some differences. So let's take a look. We're going to open Catalog. We're going to browse to our desktop, Exercise Files, Catalogs, and we're going to open our ASME Pipes and Fittings. So we're going to come to Catalog Editor up on the top right. And let's just make this window a little bit bigger here and start to filter. So we'll just go through how the filtering process works. So always start with the biggest, which is the part category. So in this case, let's look for some fittings. And then we can come down to the component type. We're going to get a little bit more specific. You can see all the standard types that we have in here. We're going to look for an elbow. And again, we can come back across our more general filters. I'm not going to worry about that for the elbows, or I'm not going to worry about pressure class either for this one. I'm going to come down more into the specifics and filter with a short description. So let's just look for a 90-degree long radius. And here's all the options that we have. I'm just going to scroll down a little. And we can then go through and say we only want standard. So here's what we have in our catalog for the standard. If we just highlight on here, make this a little bit bigger, and let's take a look at some of the properties that we have here. So we have just our standard port connections. We have a beveled end on each of these, and if we want to look at the other port, we can come and just pick there, and you'll see that changes to port 1, port 2. Obviously, in this case with the elbow, they're going to be identical, but if you have non-identical engines, like reducers, maybe different sizes, or some valves have different connection properties. So under the long description, no matter what elbow we choose here, the long description of the family is going to be the same. The standard information, this is all going to be the same, so we don't have to worry about this. And we'll come to the sizes. So this one's a little bit more detailed with the dimensions that we have here. So let's look at the sizing for the 6-inch. So you'll see you've got the nominal diameter. We have to make sure that the piping outside diameter is accurate. And part of the connection properties when you're using plant is the outside diameter. So if your piping diameter on your elbow doesn't match the same outside diameter on your pipe, you're going to get an error with connection. So if you are creating any custom components, it's extremely important to make sure that you get all this information exactly right. Weights and the radius curve. And again, here's the dimensions that you see shown, the angle, the wall thickness, overall dimension. So I'm going to come down again and we'll just filter for one more type. I'm going to just click the little filter to turn that off. And let's look for some of the flanges. And we're going to go through the same thing again. I'm going to look for, this time, I want to filter just for a raised face. And for pressure class, we're just going to go with 150. So this has given us all the different flanges with a raised face and a 150 pressure class. So now we want to filter down again using either the short description. If you like, you can come down this way and pick just weld neck. And if you want to filter just by one specific, we can look into the very detailed long description. And all the descriptions are in here too. If you want to pick the weld neck, Series A. So that's basically how you use the filters. So let's go up again and we're going to quickly take a look at this and look at the dimensional data that we see here. Again, corresponding the dimensions on the graphic with the size parameters. And we're looking actually at a 26-inch weld neck flange here. And again, coming through, we can look at 32 and just watch the correlation between the dimensions. Filtering is an essential part of catalog editing. And I'm sure with practice, you'll be able to find what you're looking for quickly and easily.